Hey, me again, just going through some old stuff, and I found this old story from God knows how old I was, but I think this is one written by me. I remember this picture. Grant drew this. My big brother Grant drew this. It was based on a statue kind of thing, like a figurine that my dad had around his house. So this would be something that we would have done in the summer holidays, more than likely. Dad would go off to work, leave us like homework or like just like quizzes to do to keep us amused, kind of thing, and we'd amuse ourselves by making stories or whatever. So this is Story by Graham, The Black Knight and the Giant's Castle. You can see my magnificent handwriting. Alright, I'll focus on this so you can see it while I'm maybe it could just be on me, but we'll just do this so you can see how bad my handwriting was. When the knights lived, there lived a strong and clever knight. They called him the Black Knight. He was once told to fight a terrible dragon who guarded a giant's castle. The giant had lots of things to stop any knight from entering his castle, including some bad knights, a pit dug all the way round the castle with ogres in it, and that terrible dragon. No punctuation. The reason for all those things was because he had a maiden locked up in the very high tower, and it was the Black Knight's job to get her away from the castle. So the knight went on his journey. He came to many a danger which the king did not know about, so the Black Knight was unaware of the dangerous Hydra that was in the dangerous wood which he had to cross through. When he came across the Hydra, he was attacked quickly. He got his magical sword, he got off his horse and started slaying the 11-headed snake. He cut off its heads and the creature fell to the ground and it was dead. He put his sword away and went on his way, and he came to the castle and the dragon started to fight him. It was a long battle. The dragon knocked the hero down into the pit. The ogres were upon him in no time, but as each one approached, he immediately died because the blade of his sword cut through it. The knight climbed out of the pit and slayed the dragon. Then he went up to the castle. The knights fought him, one at a time. There were only 4 of them, and they weren't strong enough to beat the Black Knight. They were soon defeated. The giant himself came upon the knight, and he was tied up to a post, but his magic sword rose into the air and slayed the giant. Then cut the rope, the knight freed her, and the king let them marry. The end. Right, now we have a page, Weapons of Black Knight. Sword, axe, lance, morning star. The Black Knight's private tent. Lances, BK, what's that say? Oh, Black Knight. Lances of the Black Knight. Alright, and now we have a second story. Black Knight number 2 story. The Black Knight's Great Day. Okay. The Black Knight was enjoying a meal with the king when all of a sudden they heard a scream. Sir Guy, the Black Knight, ran upstairs to his wife's room from where the scream came, where he found a broken window and no wife. He ran to the window and saw a 2-headed dragon running with his wife, curled in its tail from the castle. Now the king loved his daughter and was very upset to hear what had happened. He said to Sir Guy, "My son, if you bring back my daughter, when you return I will give you half of my kingdom, and when I am dead you shall be king." "Sire, I will bring her back alive," said the valiant knight. He summoned his page to help him with his armour and his horse. The great knight got on his charger, grabbed his magic sword and his morning star, and went like the wind in pursuit of the dragon. The first traces of the dragon was broken oak tree smashed like matchsticks. The valiant knight rode on. He soon came to other traces of the monster, its footprints in the sand. A little further on he saw the dragon standing by a great crack in the ground. Sir Guy was just about to slay the dragon when his wife said, "No, don't hurt her." Sir Guy was astonished and said, "But how do you know it's a her? It tried to kill you anyway." "But she only wanted to be helped. You see her egg is down the bottom of the crevasse, and she cannot get down herself, for she is too big. We must help her." So the knight got off his horse and took off his armour and climbed down the crack. "I won't be long," he shouted up. He picked up the egg. It weighed quite a lot and was quite heavy. He scrambled back up. The dragon was quite pleased and thanked them and went its way. The knight and his wife went back to the castle. A few weeks later, the knight was a suspected father. The king was very ill and he died. The knight became king and was known as King Guy. Now the queen was very ill after her father's death, and when Guy's child was born, he named him George and was known as St. George. But George was very ill as a baby, and the dragon heard about this and came to the castle. The king let her into his palace and asked her what she wanted from him. She said, "You help my child to be born, and I will help yours to survive." "But how can you help him?" said Guy. "That is my secret," she said. "He will come to no harm." "Good," said Guy. "How long do you need?" 3 years, she replied. "If that is so, I shall see you then. Farewell." 3 years passed. George had become a very strong and handsome child, and the dragon returned with him and her child. She said to Guy, "I have returned, but now I have nowhere to live, for my cave has been attacked." "Then you shall live in the castle," said Guy, "and you, friends of my wife and I." The end. Yeah, I don't know, terrible writing. Terrible writing, terrible punctuation. I've spelt no wrong. Right, the George and King Guy. George and King Guy, there you go. There's the baby dragon with 2 heads. And there's the Black Knight's charger. So there you go. That was the Black Knight story 1 and 2. Didn't say if my wife got better. There you go. Thanks for watching.